Hello, abamaziyo, abazange bambona. As guys, as you know, tomorrow, or not tomorrow, well, tomorrow is the kickoff of the World Cup. And then Saturday is the big game. All Blacks, Springboks. I think, yeah, in terms of the team sheets, we kind of expected the Springboks to be consistent in their selection. Rassie Erasmus has always been consistent. I think maybe for me, the sort of one that raises the eyebrows is Francois Herber starting ahead of Trevor. I think Trevor is actually better, has been better this season starting, because it's like now they're pegging him back to the role that he used to play coming off the bench. But let's see how that works out. Maybe the all black front row that the Springboks have will come on and put in a big impact. Kitsov definitely, of course, he's deserved his spot moving into the number one jumper, and of course Beast, bringing down the curtain on his career probably soon. Marks, yeah, is good enough. Lock pairing, good. Etzebeth and Mostert, although I must say, with the cloud that's hanging around Etzebeth, I don't know. I don't really agree with him having even been in the match day 23, or let alone being in Japan after these serious allegations. Already it's what, 25 years or whatever it is since democracy, and we can't have a Springbok player representing the country that has such very, very strong allegation of racism leveled against him, and he's representing the country, under a black captain. So to me, it's like, is he really fully a transformed individual in terms of his attitude towards people of color? We don't know, but nonetheless, look, let's talk rugby. Let's leave the politics off the field. Look, we have a very powerful tight five. Loose forwards as well, we're very good, looking strong. I'm looking forward to Sia having a big game. This game is going to be tight. Won and lost up front. That's definitely where it's going to be. Looking at the All Blacks pack as well, I think their weakness is actually Joe Moody. We can definitely target him. That's why I felt, with Trevor would have been a better fit at attacking Joe Moody from the tight head. Moody is, I think, is really a weak link. If you've watched the past three games, even in the Championship or Bledisloe Cup, he actually was giving away quite a lot of penalties, So I don't know. We'll see if he's worked on that, but I think that's definitely an area we can target. Dane Coles, I don't think he's the same player that he used to be, but they've had time to work on their conditioning, work on their game plan. So let's see what's going to happen there. And yeah, geez, not to forget the tight head prop. I had his name. I just forgot his name right now, but I know it will come to me. But I think he's been a very good acquisition from the Chiefs. He plays for the Chiefs, so he is very good, strong scrummager, good ball carrier. He's very explosive. And then we also, in terms of their lock pairing, Barrett and Whitelock, I won't lie, I'm quite surprised that Barrett has been given the go-ahead of Patrick Tuipulotu, who I felt he really stepped into that number 4 jersey and really made it his own, particularly over the Bledisloe Cup clashes. Then they lose forwards as expected, tried and tested. Sam Cane, Oli Savia, Kieran Reid. We know what we're going to get from them. Sam Cane is going to be working very hard at trying to slow down our ball. Savia with the carries, Kieran Reid as well. He's playing a bit closer. Then with the backs, I think with our backline again, it's also expected back division with Faf, Andre, Seta pairing. We're very well settled there. On the wings as well, I think we've got a good chasing wingers in Mapimpi and Colby, and Villarreal, of course, with the stability and experience at the back. I think definitely a kicking game is going to be an option that we're going to be looking at. Maybe kicking a lot from 9, a lot of box kicking, a lot of up and unders. I do see those coming through, particularly if the weather, as predicted, is going to be wet. And I think as well, the Boks are going to be geared towards keeping the ball a lot, trying to play phase to phase. Looking at the way that they played against Japan, I don't think they'll try and play a very fast game. I think they will try and control the tempo, because it's World Cup, it's 7 weeks. It's all about winning. It doesn't matter how you win. So it's really, I think their focus for them is going to be really being strategically implementing the game plan, and if that means a measured approach, I think that's the approach that they'll take. With the All Blacks, again, we know their back division. I'm not, of course we know Smith, what Aaron Smith can do. I'm not convinced with Rishi Mwanga, Barrett experimentation of 10 and 15 axis. I think we can really take advantage of that and expose that again. You know, as long as we don't give Barrett space on the ball and we don't kick aimlessly towards him and give him that space to run at us, like we saw in that game in Wellington, where on the hooter just 2 minutes before halftime where he scored. I think our kick chase wasn't that great, but it definitely would have improved now. So yeah, they settled in the back division, you know. So Crotty is definitely an underrated player. He's very, very critical to the way that they want to play, I think, particularly in the back division, in organizing and talking to the guys. Explosive wingers that they have in Sevier Reese and George Bridge, I think, you know, if they get the roll on, they can definitely hurt us out wide. We have to be wary. As I mentioned, you know, this is going to be a crack of a game. It is, you know, for both nations, the opening game of the World Cup. It's going to be a very, very important game. But at the same time, it's going to be one of those where I feel whoever wins this game, if the teams meet in the final, I'm hanging my hat and saying that both of these teams will end up in the final, just as everybody is thinking and expecting. And I feel whoever wins this game is going to lose in the final. That's what I'm saying. That's my prediction now. You know, start of the week, start of the World Cup. But yeah, there's a lot of things. I'm not happy with the bench of the Springboks. You know, I feel Francois Steyn, I don't know what he's done to actually deserve or warrant a place there. To be fair, yes, he's got the experience, but I feel a player like Alton Yankees can definitely offer something different or something that's not so expected. From a physicality point of view, maybe that's why they have him there, you know, to cover the centers. So, you know, if they really wanted Francis Steyn there, then you leave Jesse Kular to put Alton in there, you know. I don't really have a problem with the Bok bench. I think we have a very solid bench. With the New Zealand bench, I think it'll be interesting to see how they use Frizzell and Tuipulotu, how they use Sonny Bull, and how they use Ben Smith as well coming off the bench. I think with all that experience with the high ball as well, and he really understands the game and how to fit into that game. So let's see how it plays out. But I really feel that it's going to be a tough game, very close. But again, there's that danger of New Zealand running away with it. Not running away, but really putting a marker down for the rest of the tournament. But again, like I say, whoever wins this game will lose the final at the end. So good luck to the Boks. Blood is green, but at the same time, let's be very cautious. Let's take it game by game. Let the boys play, and may the best team win. I'm excited. I hope everybody else is excited. And yeah, let's look out for the review that will come through in the coming week. But the other games to take note of, I think, because it's the World Cup, let's just try and cover all the games. You know, tomorrow Russia, Japan. Russia have already come out and, you know, they put a target on the Japanese team's back, but I think the Japanese will be very well prepared with their coaching staff, Jamie Joseph and Tony Brown. They're very good coaches. We've seen what they've done at Super Rugby and even at international level. Then Australia, Fiji looking good. You know, I think Fiji have got a slight advantage in that a lot of their players, they play in the French league, which is it's a different kind of league. It's tough. It's more physical. It's also forward orientated. So I think they should show some improvement there. But Australia have got a good habit of doing well in the World Cup. So I think they'll come to try and set the record straight. And then Argentina, France. You know, that's a banana peel for both of those teams, you know, considering the group that they're in. But I think, geez, I have to hang my hat on it, and I'll say that Argentina will come away with it. I'm all for the Southern Hemisphere teams, and yeah, let's have a good weekend as a Southern Hemisphere, you know. Except Fiji, Australia, I don't care who wins because they're both in the South, but I'm hoping Fiji will make the upset there. Let's say maybe Fiji will sneak it by 2. Japan, Russia, Japan, home team, take it by 3 points. Or 5, let's say 5. Argentina, France, Argentina to sneak it home by 8 points. Springboks, New Zealand, I'll say New Zealand to win by 3 points. Purely because I want them to get to the final and lose to us there. So thank you very much for watching. Remember, subscribe, like, share, and yeah, look out for the review on the next week. Thanks.